Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Kyle Edwards of the Sports Empire Network here to give you your World Cup recap. Another exciting day. This was Group C and Group D. Each of the teams had their third game today, and as if you've been paying attention, the third game, all four teams in the group play at the same time. That way, you don't have to worry about you know one team letting up because they know that they're already in. Kind of brings the drama, and I gotta say that definitely was the case today. So go through those, and we're starting to see the round of 16. The match is starting to fill up, so I'll fill you in on what we know so far. But today we had Australia, Denmark, Tunisia, and France in the early window, and that's from Group C. Now, coming into this game, all four teams could have been arranged any different way. Basically, we kind of knew France was going to be in, but for the second spot in the group to advance, it could have been Australia, Denmark, or Tunisia based off of how these games went. So, both games scoreless through the first half, and at that point, I believe it was France and Australia going through because that's how it was going into the match. But Tunisia scored first over France in the 58th minute. And at that point, in order for Australia to get in, they needed a goal because I think the way the qualification would have went was if Australia were to draw and Tunisia lose whatever, they'd have been fine. So Australia was kind of playing for the draw. They had a couple of moments where they were going for a goal, but they knew if they tied Denmark, because Denmark, probably the most disappointing team of the World Cup, I gotta say. Denmark did not look like any kind of threat today. They had maybe one or two runs in the attack where you're like, maybe something could happen, but nah, it just wasn't that way. So I think Australia knew they were going to escape with at least a draw. But the Tunisia goal changed things because then Australia then had to go for the win in order to qualify. And it was on one of those opportunities where Denmark made a little bit of a rush. Australia got out into the counterattack, and they sent a through ball up to Lecky, who was one on one with a Denmark, I believe, center back. Although Lecky was kind of looking behind him, hoping another Australian player would have made the run with him. That way he could have just laid it off to him and gotten an easy, 2-on-1 situation. But once Lecky understood it was just him and the Danish center back, Lecky went to work. Went right over to his left, and then took a shot into the far corner that went through the Danish defender's legs. And it was perfectly placed. It was right in the corner by the far post, right in. And once that went in, I think Australia kind of knew what was happening, that they were going to probably qualify. Um, Tunisia, went for a second goal. They went for it, and they were also kind of hoping Denmark was going to probably get lucky and get a goal. But like I said, Denmark was never really a threat. And it was disappointing because I thought Denmark was going to make it out of this group, but you know they ended up with 1 point, and they deserve to go home. So I'm not mad at that. Australia got the win, so they knew that they were moving on. Tunisia was definitely devastated by that because they had a good World Cup. I will say I got to give them credit for that. France, either way, didn't care, but France um, scored a late goal, which would have made it 1-1. Griezmann. But then they looked at VAR and realized he was offside. So Tunisia, Australia both won 1-0. France and Australia are going through to the knockout round. And that was Group D. I said Group C earlier. So Group D finishes with France and Australia on 6 points. Those are the two teams going through. Tunisia comes in third at 4 points. Denmark 1. So Tunisia and Denmark going home. Then the second window, we had Poland versus Argentina, Saudi Arabia versus Mexico. Once again, this is another group where actually all four were in play to finish anywhere from first to last. We know that Argentina was the favorite in this group, so this was Argentina's chance going up against the Polish squad that's Not the most threatening offensively. They're more of a defensive shell type of team and try to get in the counter. But as we saw with Saudi Arabia when they played Argentina, the best way to play Argentina is to really go at them. That's not really Poland's style. So I think we understood that Argentina is probably going to be pretty comfortable in this game. And that's kind of how it went. Argentina got their 2-0 win over Poland. But the interesting thing was with Mexico and Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia, in order for them to get through, we know that they were the darlings of the tournament where they knocked off Argentina in game one. Their best opportunity would have been to beat Mexico. And I think hope for Poland to keep the score closer with Argentina. Let me double check that. Saudi Arabia 3 points. Yeah. So basically, Saudi Arabia just needed because Poland would have gotten through anyway over Saudi Arabia. But um, yeah, so Argentina gets their first goal of 46 minutes. Mexico. So the interesting, like I said, Mexico and Poland came into this one where both of them, with all the tiebreakers, were basically locked in. So Mexico best bet would have been to beat Saudi Arabia by 2 goals while scoring at least 3 goals. Have Poland lose 2-0, and then that way goals scored, which is like the fifth tiebreaker, would have gone Mexico's way, and then that's how they get through. So Argentina scores first. Mexico still needs Argentina to score a second goal. Mexico scores their goal 1 minute after Argentina did. So at that point, 47 minutes in, it's 1-0, both Mexico and Argentina over Poland and Saudi Arabia. Mexico then gets their second goal in the 52nd minute. And at this point, they know, okay, we got our 2-goal lead, got to get a third one, or if Argentina could get 2 more, we're golden. Argentina gets their second goal, 67th minute, and at this point, Mexico is pressing for the third goal themselves, but they're also hoping Argentina could get them a third goal to kind of cover them. Mexico had a couple of goals that were called back for being offside, which, like I said, if they had gotten the third, fourth goal, then they wouldn't have really cared what happened in Argentina and Poland. But they could only get 2 goals. And then what really killed them was Saudi Arabia got an extra time goal in the 95th minute to make it 2-1. So Mexico wins, but it's not by 2 goals. And Poland, only because they only lost by 2, Poland ends up moving on to the knockout round. And it was so bad for Mexico that literally, I think it was like an hour after the game, the report came out that Mexico fired their manager, Tata Martino, for not making it out of the group. I mean, that's World Cup business for you, because some of these teams have immense pressure going into these World Cups. We saw it with Iran yesterday, where basically their government was telling them if they didn't win, it might be trouble for them and all this kind of stuff. But Group C ends up finishing with Argentina on top, 6 points. Poland and Mexico finish second and third, 4 points. Poland gets through off a goal differential, as Poland was even, Mexico was -1. And then Saudi Arabia finishes last in the group with 3 points. So yeah, it was a dramatic day in the World Cup, and that's what FIFA wants with these teams playing their third game simultaneously. They want a lot of drama today. And now with that, we know our matchups for Saturday and Sunday in the round of 16, where Saturday, the early window, so 10 a.m. Eastern, whatever that is, your time, Netherlands versus the United States. Gotta say, that's not a bad matchup for the United States. That's a matchup they can win, because Netherlands, this isn't the Netherlands from a few years ago where they were one of the dominant teams in Europe and internationally. Trust me, Netherlands is still a good team, but I think it's a better matchup for the United States than, let's say, I guess their other choice would have been Senegal. I mean, Senegal's tough, and Senegal kind of plays a lot like the United States, so that might have been a tougher matchup for them. I do think the United States has a chance against the Netherlands. I will say that. And then the late game, which I think is like 2 o'clock my time, 2 Eastern. Argentina, Australia. Argentina is going to be the favorite in that one, but Australia, there's something about them. They play with a lot of heart. They don't give up, and their crowd creates an environment for them that just gives them a lot of energy. So Australia could be a problem from Argentina, but I think Argentina should win that one. Then Sunday we get France versus Poland, which is probably the worst of the 4 games that we know so far. I would have rather seen France versus Mexico. I think that would have been more entertaining, but I mean, if Poland can frustrate France with their defensive shell, maybe they have a chance at this, but I think France wins that one. And then we got England, Senegal, which England's going to be the favorite because England's one of the favorites to win it all. At least going into it, I don't know how people really feel about them after the group stage, but Senegal is going to give them trouble because Senegal is one of those relentless teams that we see with a lot of the uh, African teams and like the Middle Eastern teams. They all kind of play a similar style. I think that can give England some trouble. England, we know, has a lot of talent, but they kind of play a conservative style, of football, soccer, I'll say. But um, they probably should advance against Senegal, but it's going to be a really tough matchup for them. And for Thursday, the matchups we have are Group F and Group E. We got Croatia, Belgium, Canada, Morocco, early window. And the only team in that group before that's really out of it is Canada's been eliminated already, but Croatia, Belgium, Morocco could finish anywhere from first and third, so there should be some drama there. And then Group E, we're going to get Japan, Spain, Costa Rica, Germany. Germany, who's one of the tournament favorites, is sitting on 1 point, so they're going to definitely need a win and some help from Japan or Spain. I think they'll probably just need that game to not end in a draw, maybe. But should be another dramatic day tomorrow. I think Japan Spain could be a sneaky, probably the most entertaining game tomorrow. But we'll see. And with that, that's your World Cup recap. And of course, I'll be here again tomorrow to recap those games I just told you about. It should be another great day. Hopefully, you've been tuning into the World Cup. It's just been great soccer. And like I said, with these third games, you get a lot of drama. So definitely should be tuning in. Can't wait for USA Netherlands on Saturday. But appreciate Sports Empire Network letting me come on here and, give you the recap that you need. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a great one.